For the first time in these 6 years, 2 super U.S. Navy aircraft carriers are in the South China Sea, the recent show of military and defense might from Washington, as it pushes back against China's sweeping claim to much of the contested region.
The Nimitz and Ronald Reagen carrier strike groups conducted dual carrier operations July 6.
The USS Nimitz and USS Ronald Reagan carrier strike groups and several accompanying warships were conducting exercises in the disputed South China Sea, the U.S. Navy said, as China also carried out military drills that have been criticized by the Pentagon and neighboring states.
Combining the two air wings, Carrier Air Wing 17 and Carrier Air Wing 5 together, really puts on display the advanced tactics that we can bring to a fight if it's required, and definitely reassures our partners that we are here and committed to regional stability and assurance to all in this part of the world.
The exercise is long planned but comes as China conducts military drills of its own in the area, near the contested Paracel Islands, exercises that have been criticized by the U.S. and other countries. The Wall Street Journal first reported the carrier's participation in the coming exercise.
This opportunity for 2 carrier strike groups to train and operate together in the region provides combatant commanders with significant operational flexibility and capabilities that only the U.S. Navy can command.
U.S. has long said Beijing has militarized the islands in the South China Sea via the deployment of military hardware and construction of military facilities. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo tweeted on Friday, "America agrees with our Southeast Asian friends, the PRC's People's Republic of China military exercise in disputed waters of the South China Sea is highly provocative. We oppose Beijing's unlawful claims. Period."
And we have the ability to launch over 150 aircraft and recover 150 aircraft each day. In a dual carrier exercise with another carrier, we can do approximately 300 sorties a day. No one else in the world has that capability.
Admiral George M. Wickoff, commander of the strike group led by the Ronald Reagan, said, "The exercises were not a response to those being conducted by China, which the Pentagon criticized this week as counterproductive to efforts at easing tensions and maintaining stability." U.S. carriers have long carried out exercises in the Western Pacific, including in the South China Sea, according to the U.S. Navy. At one point recently, the United States had 3 carriers in the region.
China has only 1 aircraft carrier with a second nearing that status. Both, however, don't have the size and ability to carry as many aircraft as the 2 U.S. Navy carriers. And that 2 carriers just finished operating with the USS Theodore Roosevelt, in the nearby Philippine Sea. China seems to be panic against the 3 U.S. aircraft carriers there. Donald Trump seems to be very angry with China's military training in the South China Sea, by sending a total of 3 aircraft operators. On the other hand, China's actions also tried to capture the islands in the region. Trump considers this embarrassing.
I think it was disgraceful. Disgraceful.
2 super aircraft carriers, Reagen and Nimitz, have arrived into the South China Sea for the largest military exercises in 6 years, just as China has been holding its own drills around the Paracel Islands, which it seized from Vietnam in 1974 in a move. The United States has never accepted unilateral action like this. According to information from the official U.S. Navy website, the Navy's only forward-deployed aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan CVN-76, the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS Mustin DDG-89 Center, and the guided missile cruiser USS Antietam CG-54 Wright sail in formation. Ronald Reagan is the flagship of Carrier Strike Group CSG-5. An E-2D Advanced Hawkeye assigned to the Tigertails of Carrier Airborne Early Warning Squadron VAW-125 flies past the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan CVN-76. 2 MH-60RC Hawks attached to the Saberhawks of Helicopter Maritime Strike Squadron HSM-77 hover over the Navy's only forward-deployed aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan CVN-76 and USS Nimitz CVN-68. Sailors assigned to the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz CVN-68 conduct flight operations as part of the Nimitz Carrier Strike Force CSF. An F/A-18E Super Hornet attached to the Dambusters of Strike Fighter Squadron VFA 195 approaches the flight deck of the Navy's only forward deployed aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagen, CVN-76. Ronald Reagen is the flagship of Carrier Strike Group CSG-5.
With USS Ronald Reagan, this is Petty Officer Erica Bouchard.
Now, the conditions in the South China Sea are heating up again, we just wait for further information here.